Beat your ass, and I'm gonna beat Jalen Love ass. And my mama, I'm gonna beat both your ass. And my mama. And he laughing. You know, he laughing.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. No, I don't have to say it right now.
I don't understand that.
Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up there. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him. Back.
It begs the question, Tank. It begs the question, Tank. How was your training for him? I mean, now you're fighting a bigger guy. Obviously,
This wasn't your typical boxing press conference. When Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Jake Paul sat down face-to-face under the bright dawn lights, things went from tense to explosive in a matter of seconds. The stare down? Pure chaos. You could feel the energy shift in the room. Two men from completely different worlds colliding on one side, a three-division world champion on the other. A YouTuber-turned boxer with something to prove, both locked in, eyes burning with intensity. Neither flinched. Neither backed down. And just when it seemed like words weren't enough, the tension nearly erupted into a full-on brawl. Security had to jump in fast. Even then, it felt like the fight could break out right there, long before fight night ever arrives.
This is happening. You're about to get into the ring with Jake Paul.
I'm definitely excited. I think it's going to be good. He been in the gym and he been boxing for a little minute now, so he been taking it serious. So we just got to see what he bring come when we fight.
November 14th.
Yeah, November.
He's stupid as fuck.
Let's be real. Gervonta Tank Davis used to be one of the most feared names in boxing, a knockout artist with devastating power, endless highlight reels, and a reputation as one of the sport's most ruthless finishers.
This is a dangerous fight for Jake. Gervonta's technical expertise, his speed, his precision, the fact that he's a counter striker are dangerous facts that make me think that Jake's really got to lock in for this one. On the contrary, if Gervonta feels a couple big Jake Paul shots, it's going to be detrimental.
I think this is going to be one of those ones that gets a real good racial split. I think it's going to be some real black versus white shit, dude.
But then came Lamont Roach. Nobody saw it coming. Roach wasn't supposed to challenge Tank like that, yet in their first meeting, he humbled him for the first time in years. Tank looked human. Fans walked away stunned, convinced he'd been exposed. The fight ended in a controversial draw, but everyone knew who really came out ahead. Roach's stock skyrocketed, while Tank's aura of invincibility started to crack. And instead of giving Roach the rematch everyone was begging for, Tank walked the other way. He turned down redemption and chose to fight Jake Paul instead. A YouTuber let that sink in.
When you walk into the ring, how much you think you'll weigh?
When I walk in the ring,
Yeah.
With or without the ankle monitor on.
that's corny. That's super corny. I don't know how much I weigh.
And the handcuffs too.
Huh? What are you talking about, fam? That outfit is trash. For real. That outfit is garbage.
Thank you.
That hairstyle. Anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a fucking clown. We all know this. Name
You want to see clowns? You want to see clowns? Gervonta, you're the fucking clown, buddy. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown.
If I put my hands on females or anything like that, right? You see how when I don't even want to bring up nobody thing, what's the name about that? But P Diddy, when things got like that, it was mad females coming out, right? So if I hit a female, right, wouldn't it be mad other females? Like I ain't been just with one female. Like I'm 30 years old. No.
Okay.
This fight isn't about proving who's the best. It's about money, plain and simple. And that's exactly why so many fans are frustrated. Because fighting Jake Paul doesn't elevate Tank Davis's career. It cheapens it. If anything, it puts his entire legacy on the line.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
Hardcore fans know the weight difference matters, but let's be honest, the casuals don't care. All they see is Tank Davis, one of the best boxers alive, stepping in against Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned fighter. If Jake somehow pulls off the win, nobody's going to say, "Oh, Tank was too small." They'll just say, "A YouTuber beat one of boxing's best."
95 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds, and when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves. Sitting ringside will be 3 commission-approved world-class professional judges that will score every round to ensure there's a decisive outcome for the fight if it goes the distance. And both men are enrolled in the highest level of testing with USADA. So Tank, Jake, thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving boxing another massive moment, headlined by yourselves, featuring multiple world title fights. But come Friday, November 14th, only one of you will have your hand raised and walk away with the W. The question is, will it be a W rendered by 3 judges or a W by stoppage? May the best fighter win. Thank you.
That's the nightmare scenario for Tank, because if he loses, it's not just his reputation on the line, it's boxing itself that takes the hit. The whole sport starts to look like a circus. But for Jake Paul, this is the moment he's been chasing since day one. The spotlight, the legitimacy, the chance to prove he belongs in the same ring as real champions. This fight is everything he's ever dreamed of.
Bro, that's a fucking disgrace of a fight. Yeah. You know it. Just like Mike Tyson, low-key was a disgrace, but we accepted it. But he was 60 years old. I mean, the casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter. Yeah. Gervonta Davis, he's actually really small. Like, when I fought him, he's small. Yeah. So I just think it's a very unfair fight.
Jake Paul has been chasing credibility since day one. He's faced former UFC fighters. He's gone toe-to-toe with Tommy Fury. And along the way, he's turned himself into a legitimate pay-per-view star. But through it all, one thing has always driven him: the need to prove he belongs among real boxers. And now, facing Gervonta Tank Davis, this is that moment.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis fight got moved to Miami.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but Jake Paul now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
I mean, it's just fucking sick.
I mean, yeah, no, but dude,
Did
Jake.
You ever watch his highlights?
Jake can crack,
nasty,
man.
He's so sick. I love that guy, bro.
Jake knows his size advantage is the ace up his sleeve. He's coming in heavier, stronger, and carrying real knockout power. And unlike the time he fought Mike Tyson, when people mocked him for targeting a 60-year-old legend, this time, he's facing an active, dangerous fighter in his prime. If Jake pulls this off, he won't just earn respect, he'll shock the entire sport. That's why so many boxing purists are furious, because this fight isn't just risky, it's reckless. Tank doesn't need Jake Paul. He needs fights that mean something. Fights against names like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or that unfinished business with Lamont Roach. Those are the battles that would cement his legacy.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'd be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Instead, Tank's chasing the bag. And yeah, we get it. Floyd Mayweather did the same thing. Floyd turned boxing into a business. He showed the world that smart moves outside the ring could build an empire just as powerful as what happens inside it.
Has anybody ever come to you and said, Terrence, what do you think? Dip your toes in the MMA water.
You don't get paid enough.
But if you did?
Nope.
Nope.
$5,000 to show up. $5,000 to win. $5,000 for best in show.
Yeah,
like,
hell no. Yeah. Well, that's the guys coming out.
Yeah. I know. But I'm just saying, that's how it is in UFC too.
Yeah.
They might get a little more money, but they be same thing, like 20,000.
Yeah.
So they fighting that off to get that bonus. Boxers, man, win, lose, draw. We getting X amount that's on that contract.
Yes.
That's it.
That's how it should.
But here's the difference. Floyd had already proven himself before he started cashing, and he was undefeated against the best of his era. Pacquiao, Canelo, De La Hoya. The list goes on. He earned the right to chase the money fights. So when people keep asking Tank why he's taking this path, T's a fair question.
Holy shit, Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is actually happening. What the f is going on? I guess Tank is going broke because that's the only justifiable reason you ruin your legacy against a guy like Jake Paul. And yes, I do think Jake Paul is going to win. Tank Davis is a much better boxer and has crazy power, but he's 5'5", 130. That power is not going to carry over against someone who is 6'1", 210. And it's not like Jake is bad. Yes, his fights are boring. He says he's going to step in the ring and sleep his opponents, but the only people who end up sleeping are the audience. Mike Tyson fight. But at the end of the day, he's a big guy with power who's training boxing full time, and he has beaten some legitimate competition. Woodley, Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, Mike Perry had a competitive fight with Tommy Fury, but it's crazy how particular Jake has to be when selecting his opponents. They have to have enough clout to be interesting, enough skill to be taken seriously as a threat, but at the same time have clear weaknesses and disadvantages that Jake and his team can exploit to win. Now that he's fighting an elite boxer, he has to fight someone 7 weight classes down. I mean, Tank could win if he makes Jake do a very aggressive weight cut, but I just don't see that happening. I got Jake by 3rd round TKO. He should put me on the co-main event and allow me to fight Francis Ngannou. That would be an easy first round knockout for myself.
Tank hasn't proven himself the way legends like Floyd did, and taking on Jake Paul while sidestepping real competition isn't doing his image any favors. That's why the Dawn face-off spoke volumes. Tank walked in with that trademark scowl, eyes locked on Jake, while Jake didn't flinch, smirking and leaning forward with confidence. The crowd drowned out their words, but their body language said it all. Pure hatred. Then things boiled over. Both men stood up. Security jumped in, chairs shifted, cameras scrambled, and for a moment, it felt like a punch was seconds away. It was chaos, the kind of chaos that sells pay-per-views, exactly what Don wanted. But for boxing purists, it felt more like WWE than the sweet science. And the backlash has been loud. Shakur Stevenson didn't hold back, calling the matchup flat-out disrespectful to the sport, claiming Tank's decision to fight Jake instead of him proves he's running from real competition.
Crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, you know, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million, but I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
Shakur Stevenson didn't just criticize the matchup, he completely dismissed it, saying the fight makes no sense for either man's career. In his eyes, it's a lose-lose situation. If Tank wins, he gains nothing by beating a YouTuber. If he loses, his legacy takes a massive hit. And for Jake, while the spotlight is huge, stepping in with a proven world champion could expose his limits. To purists like Shakur, this isn't a step forward for boxing. It's a sideshow that risks turning the sport into entertainment theater.